No, not at all. I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to be like, that color, not you, no. So I want you guys to know, first thing I want to tell you is you're going to see inside your booklet on page 8, I've broken down the 4 style profiles. We're going to kind of go into that a little bit. The one thing I would ask you to do is please don't jump to the conclusion of what you are. Give me a chance to really tell you what my impression would be, because what this is about and how this all got started is I really wanted to show women not just fashion, but I really wanted to empower women to be comfortable in their own skin. You know, for years and years when I was little, my grandma would always say, wanting to be something you're not is simply wasting who you are. And so many clients that I had and have had get so wrapped up in what is new and what's out and what the colors are, that what gets lost is really who they truly are. And so that's hopefully what we'll learn about tonight. So I want, by show of hands, how many of you in here are wives? Wives. Okay, how many of you in here are mothers? All right. How many of you in here are women? Right, all right, okay. So that's what we're talking about tonight. Because you know what happens is all of a sudden, we get married or we have children and we think, well, now I got to wear, capri pants and a soccer mom shirt. That's all I'm allowed to wear because I'm going to go to soccer. And no, we are sexy beings. That is what being a woman is. It's empowering. It's confidence. And hiding that is just denying all of that. So hopefully we're going to learn a little bit of that tonight. So I want to tell you guys the 4 main style profiles are Americana, Bohemian, Soft Romantic, and Edgy. Now most people are a combination of 2 of those. What your percentages are within that, it's hard for me to really say just off the bat, but I've already picked people in the crowd and asked their permission to call them up, and I'm going to give you some examples tonight of what their profiles are. Now there are people who are either one profile or they can wear all the profiles, and that's what we call unicorns. So now when you're thinking unicorns, or I call unicorns, I guess. Now when you're thinking about what style you are and how this plays into what you should be wearing and how am I going to be able to know to tell you that, it comes down to when I see somebody, I immediately think, what would I love to see them in? What is the immediate feeling I get when I meet that person, and what do I want to see them in? Then I will tell you, next comes how the personality plays into it. And that's the really fun part. Because there's many of you in here that I've never met. And hopefully, when we do, hopefully I get it right with the people I've called up, to kind of give you like an overview of the personality too. And really, it's an algorithm. And so the last thing I want to say before we get into styling is this is just advice. If you go and talk to 100 different stylists, you're going to get 100 different points of view and 100 different advices on what you should be wearing and things like that. And mine really comes from a place of just empowerment rather than kind of the fragility of something that's only skin deep or very shallow. I really want this to be something more about confidence. Now, really what's important about this is, have you ever seen a woman and she has beautiful clothing on and she's beautiful, but something's not working? There's just like this disconnect. And you're kind of like, why don't I love everything I'm seeing right now? Well, that's somebody who's outside their profile. And it could even be a friend that you know is like, why, she's just not, she shouldn't have on leopard pants. Why is she wearing leopard pants? Or, on the other side of that, have you ever seen a woman or know a woman that every time you see them, they just look on point. Like they just checked every box before they left the house, and they just always look that way. That is someone who instinctively or just has learned to know what to wear. A lot of us over the age of 35, we've heard enough what we look good in, so we start gravitating to those things. And she not only knows what style profile, but she also knows her proportions, and she's honoring those each and every single time. That's what's the hardest part, and that's what hopefully I'm going to be able to show you guys a couple of tricks to do tonight. Now, what this also does in business, there's a couple of things that this is really helpful for. The first thing is especially if you're in a male-dominated profession, you have to go into a lot of power meetings. And especially if you're going to be going to a new situation where you've never met these people before. With dressing within your profile, dressing within your personality, what you're doing is you're introducing yourself before you ever say a word. People automatically see that things are clicking, and they think, she's got it together. Like, I need to sit up straighter and I need to listen. And I know that seems like it's just, it's only skin deep, but it's not, and you're going to see that here in a second. So, I would like to bring you up, if you come up. And this is Katie, so I've already asked Katie's permission. Now, Katie, I'm going to tell you, so I have a lot of Americana. I'm about a 70-30. I have Americana and Bohemian. So the reason I call Katie up here is because Katie and I could shop each other's closets. And what I mean by that is we have very similar style profiles, even though we look very different. So things that I would suggest always for Katie is exactly what she has on. Denim. Now, striping, things like this is a heather gray. I love this. And the reason I picked the gals I did is because they had a lot of the things that they should already have on. So I want to show you, this is kind of a what to wear, okay, what Katie's already has on. I love the denim jacket. I love that accent. So I want to show you guys, I'm going to grab a scarf. Now this is a little bit harder because Katie is really pretty. So a lot of things are going to look pretty on Katie. But I want you guys just to kind of get an idea of what I'm showing. So now, this is edgy. So Katie's not an edgy, okay? So this, as a stylist, this would not be something I would put on her. Animal print would not be something I'd put on. And so you can instantly see, she's pretty, but why is this not working? Now, if I was to take this off and put on something like this, which is very bohemian, it automatically translates much better. And what you're seeing is, it has nothing to do with the colors. That's a big deal. A lot of people get wrapped up in the colors. Of course, that's secondary to the style profile, knowing what your colors are. But what it is it's that bohemian. It's that feel, that really natural feel. So now, if I was Katie, we've never met, right? You're like, it's like I'm going to do a magic trick. We've never met, and I have nothing in my head. So if I was just to give a snapshot of Katie, and it's very similar to who I am as a person. So Americanas, and you'll see this in your book, but Americanas tend to be very type A. We tend to dot every I, cross every T. It's very important to us that round pegs fit into round holes. Am I a little bit close? Okay. So Katie is an exceptional employee because Katie's always going to do what you ask her to do. But the great part about that bohemian is that's a very creative part. So the way I honor it in my life is I'm always trying to do something where I'm creating something. So I have a woodworking side business where I just get to go out and be creative and create things. And so that's the part of Katie as an employee or as a boss that makes her really great because she's thinking outside the box, but she knows how to operate within the box. So knowing that about the people that you work with, this just makes communication much better. Does that make sense? So I want to show you some simple things. I brought jewelry. Now, what I do professionally outside of styling, I work with Swarovski, and so I always have access to jewelry, which makes it super handy. But this is a great way. Jewelry is one of those things that you can add in easily to an outfit to show that accent style, especially if you're in something like you have to be in a monochromatic black suit for a meeting or something. This is where you can really have some fun and let your personality show. So these would probably be my very first pick for Katie because they have that oxidized bronze. And I just want to show them next to you. I'll have you look towards the car a little bit. And it's just a neat look, but what it really does is it really brings that bohemian into that Americana that she has. This is that checkbox. This is what I'm talking about, making sure you have all of those pieces checked before you leave, because that's really what has that full cycle for you. Katie?
Yeah, thank you.
So I'm going to put Amber. You want to pull up you next, because I don't want to talk too long, and you guys have got to meet Amber, because
I'm crazy.
see, this is okay. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat, Amber is an edgy bohemian, and here's what I love. So here's what I love about edgy bohemians. So you can wear a lot of monochromatics, and what I mean by that is you can do black on black on black on black. A lot of my clients love black, and they tell me all the time, well, I wear it because it makes me feel comfortable, and don't tell me it's not in my profile. If it's not in your profile, and it's not in your color palette, I'm going to tell you right now, if you are trying to look slimmer, a lot of clients are like, oh, I'm going to put all black on because it makes me look slimmer. If it's not in your color palette, it's going to draw attention to you, and it's going to point out what you're trying to hide. So you're just basically in costume, if that makes sense. You can wear all monochromatics, like just black. I would love that, especially like some knee-high boots. I love the little skinny ankle jean, perfect. And Amber had on exactly what I wanted when I saw her. And the earrings are incredibly bohemian. Love these. And so that the same thing I would tell you is to add like having those earrings on, perfect. You can do same thing with color, and I want to show you guys a difference. Now, this would be an Americana edgy, those chevrons. When you're looking at patterning for Americana edgies, You want things that always have repetition. There's repetitive lines like your dress. It has a reason. It has a purpose. That's what you'd be looking at. So Connie and I were talking, and this would be one that I put on Connie. If we have time, I'll have Connie come up too. But for you, Amber, you can have some really fun, funky designs, but because of that bohemian, you want there to still be some whimsy in it, if that makes sense. Like you want to feel really kind of like you can ride a Harley, but maybe walk barefoot in a field of dandelions. So I just want to show you guys. Now, again, a lot of people would say, I have a lot of clients who say, well, I don't know about edgy, and I want you guys to think in the realm of chic. We're not talking about like, pierced nose and, studded collars or anything like that. We're talking about kind of just really that edgy chic and that boho chic. So now this would be a soft romantic. So even though the coloring looks pretty with her, you can see instantly this is something that doesn't translate at all, but you can take that same bohemian one again, and I love this. Now I want you guys to imagine this scarf, these earrings, with a blacked out outfit. It would just be stunning, and it's not, and you can do it because that's what your palette is. So when you talk about your edgy bohemians, they're super fun people. They are the ones that just light up a room, and they just give off as much energy as they bring in. Does that make sense? So your edgy bohemians, when it comes to business, and it comes to like the workplace, and they're the ones, if you can't find a solution, your Amber's the one you want to go to. She not only thinks outside the box, Amber lives outside the box. So she's wondering why all of you are inside the box, because she's like, it's way more fun out here. So Amber's who you want to go on business trips with. But I can tell you it's harder for your edgy bohemians to be able to really kind of thrive in environments where it's very regimented, because it can almost feel like a straitjacket. And so knowing when you pair together an edgy bohemian and say an Americana, you really have the magic that happens. The communication can sometimes be difficult, just because you guys are looking at things through a totally different lens. But this is how you get things accomplished, and that's really how you make a big difference. So yeah, so I love it. Thanks, Amber.
Thank you.
So I just want to do one more, and I'm so sorry, Connie, I'm going to call it Cynthia just because we did Americana. Okay. I know, Connie was the first person I went to, and she's like, don't tell me I'm wearing what I'm not supposed to. I'm like, no, I love what you're wearing. So this is Cindy. So Cindy is, you're a soft bohemian, and you're almost a 50-50, which means you could flip-flop from bohemian clothing to soft. So I love what she has on. I love, if you look at the top, even though it seems like there's a pattern, it really isn't. So you have a lot of difference in there. There's almost like this ombre, this blending. I love the coloring, I love the flat shoes, the makeup, everything you have on is perfect. I love it. And so I want to show you guys again, if we were to take edgy and put anything edgy next to you, it's going to instantly feel like you're in costume. And that's what I tell women. If you get dressed in the morning, you look at yourself and you're like, okay, like this isn't normally what I wear, but I'm going to put it on. If you feel like you're in costume, don't wear it. If you have clothing on that you're fidgeting with all day long, get rid of it, because that means it's not true to you. You should not even know what you have on. It should just become a part of what you wear. And this is what's great about the closet cleanups, and hopefully you guys all sign up to win one. I go into people's closets, we pull everything out that's not within your profile, we reorganize it, and then we shop within what's left. So you get a whole new wardrobe without ever having to spend a dime, and that's what's really fantastic. Because women, we don't need a ton of clothes, we just have to have the right accessories and know how to wear what we have. So I want to show you, with this, again, let's use this one here. So if I was to put this up next to Cindy, instantly it's so hard next to her. It has that it's too much. It's too regimented, it's too repetitive. Now if I take that same one that I've been putting on the other gal, and I put this next to you, you can see this is just gorgeous. And it's the coloring, she's definitely you're definitely a cool spring on your colorings as well. So this is not only the perfect scarf for you, but perfect coloring. And so that softness just translates. So with that, and I want to show you guys really quickly, because she's a 50-50, if I was to put these same earrings that I put up next to Katie, next to Cindy, because there's that soft, and now we're bringing in that bohemian, you can really see how you need to have both for it to really feel complete. Without it, it's still beautiful, but it feels like just something's a little bit missing. And so that's where that jewelry really comes in handy, because that's how you kind of tie things in, especially, like I said before, when you're in, at work. So now, the one thing I love about soft romantic bohemians is that you have a gravitational pull to people. And what I mean by that is that, and again, these are just algorithms. This is just what I have found to be true when I figure out someone's style.